If you're a convicted felon, if you're wondering if it's ever possible to legally own a firearm again, I want you to hear it here first. Yes, it is. I know this because I went through the same process. So stay tuned, man. We're about to go through some steps that can help you get the ball rolling on getting your rights back. It's your boy Himbo, Arthur Hillary. You're not going to want to miss this. So when I posted that first video about my testimony and about what I went through, man, I got so much engagement and so many questions on that, and it just let me know that this topic needs to be talked about more often. So that's exactly what we're about to do. Um, man, I got so many comments about people asking questions, and I wanted to hurry up and follow up to that video, but I really wanted to take my time and do some research and like try to map this thing out. So we're gonna go over a few things. Later in the video, we're gonna have 10 steps that everybody should take if they're looking to get their firearms rights restored. So man, buckle in. This might be a long one. All right, now first, let's talk about some misconceptions that people have. A lot of people think that if their record is expunged, then their gun rights automatically come back. That is not always the case. Um, I don't know if I said this before, but this is a state by state basis, so you need to know the laws in your state specifically. Another misconception is that if the state restores someone's rights, then the federal government also does. Now, if you have a federal case, you might need to take extra steps, and an attorney might be beneficial for you. Or they say, I could just ask my local police department. Now, I tried that. Once my record got expunged, I didn't know how much time I needed to let pass before I went to go attempt to purchase a firearm. So I stopped in at the local police station to see if they would just run my name and see what would pop up. And that didn't work. Um, the local police have no authority in that. This is all court-based stuff. So if you didn't go through some type of court, you're probably not legit. And another misconception is I've been good. I've been good long enough, so it should just fix itself. That also is not the case. Man, rights restoration is paperwork driven. So, like I said, we're gonna go over 10 steps later in the video, but I want everybody to hear step one right here and right now. We got more information to go through before we get to those 10 steps. But step number one is get a copy of your criminal history, your state criminal history, your court disposition for every charge. Identify your charges, whether or not they're felony or misdemeanor, violent versus non-violent, or state conviction versus federal conviction. Confirm, was this case dismissed? Was it a deferred adjudication? Conviction set aside? Or did you have a pardon or expungement already granted? Without this info, nothing else matters. Trust me. Now, here are some of the paths to rights restoration. Okay, you can either have an expungement, a record restriction, you can have a set aside or vacated restriction, conviction, or you can have restoration of civil rights, which often means just like your voting rights and things like that come back. You can have a gubernatorial pardon, or you can have relief from disabilities. I'm not sure what that means, but if you feel like you fall in that category, do a little research and see what's to that. And also, I want y'all to know some methods restore your voting rights, but not your firearm rights. So don't think just because you got, a record clear here or there that you're automatically eligible to go buy a firearm. You could be putting yourself in harm's way and headed down a path to um, get another conviction. So you don't want to do that, man. Make sure you follow this and make sure you're legit. All right, now a lot of people ask me if they needed an attorney to get their rights restored. Not necessarily. I have heard success stories of people who have gotten their rights restored with a paid attorney, and I've heard stories of people who have gotten their rights restored without an attorney. So if we want to go the no attorney route, here are some practical steps you can take. Number one, you visit your state judicial branch website and your state board of pardons website. You search restoration of civil rights and enter your state. and you search firearms rights restoration and enter your state specifically. Download the petition forms and read the instructions. Carefully read the instructions. Read them 2, 3 times because this is one of those processes where you can't skip any steps. So make sure that you're doing it to a T, especially if you're doing it by yourself without an attorney. Now, here are a couple of helpful, low cost resources that could be available to you. Look up legal aid sources, look up law school legal clinics, look up public defenders' offices. Some give guidance, and also look up state bar referral programs, often free consultations with these places. So make sure y'all do your own research and look into these things. Now, I feel like this is an important enough situation to where you should spend the money on an attorney, and this is big time stuff, man. If you anything like I was, man, and you got a couple dollars to spare or just save up, man, go ahead and save up that money for an attorney. And here are a couple things where I think here are a couple reasons why I think an attorney is worth it. um, if you got multiple convictions like I had, you might want to get an attorney. If you have violent offenses, you definitely want to get an attorney. A lot of these convictions might not be overturnable, but there are loopholes, and these guys went to school for this stuff. So they might be able to help you get you further on down the line as you can get yourself. If you have any domestic related charges, a lot of states, that's a big no-no. They don't want to put firearms in the hands of people that have domestic charges. Now, a lot of that time you could have been charged with it and not convicted of it, but that's just going to be a big no-no. So you definitely want to get an attorney for that. If you had a Fed case, if you have a federal conviction, you definitely want to holler at an attorney because you have to get overturned by the state and overturned by the federal government. So I'm not saying that that's impossible for you to do yourself, but I believe just go ahead and get your attorney, man. It's gonna make it a lot easier for you. Now, if you have conflicting state and federal status, just like I just mentioned, you know, go ahead and get that attorney. And if you've been previously denied, uh, you got yourself as far as you can go, and you keep getting no, 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 maybe it's worth taking that last shot at an attorney and make sure that you got somebody that has been trained and educated on what's going on for them to finally push you over that finish line. State restoration does not equal federal restoration automatically. Federal law looks at whether civil rights were fully restored and whether firearm restrictions still remain. The ATF does not give legal approval letters, and the NICS is not a legal authority. That's just a background check system. So the NICS is when you attempt to go purchase a firearm and they run your background. That's what the NICS does. That's just like um, a job screening or something like that when you apply for a job and they run a background check on you. Except for this, it's not for employment. It's on whether or not this person is safe to have a firearm sold to them. Now, I don't want to get anybody confused and make it seem like this is a quick and easy process, man. This process is slow. Denials happen. Silence from the courts happen. Like, you'll file here, file there. You won't hear back from these courts for months. In my situation, a few years had passed uh, from the time we started until the time I was legally able to go buy a firearm. So be patient. It's frustrating and discouraging, but man, I'm telling you, in the end, it's worth it. If you like me, you rebuilt your life and you got yourself together and you just want to be looked at as a proper citizen, man, this is well worth the time and effort that needs to go into it. Now, I'm well aware that this isn't in the wheelhouse of the normal content that I put out because since I was able to legally buy firearms again, the content that I put out is mostly firearm related, just showing off guns and gear and stuff like that. But this 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 topic is very important to me, man. So this channel, Art of Illery, is always gonna double back and see what's going on with y'all. We always gonna encourage people that don't have their rights, that are looking to have their rights restored, to do so. And we're also going to share some success stories. And if you have any success stories or any failure stories, put it down in the comments. But other things I'm gonna do, man, is continue to try and share credible resources with y'all. Uh, I am planning on reaching out to a couple of the brothers that I was locked up with, and a couple of brothers I knew that have been to prison and got their rights restored. Because believe it or not, man, it's a lot of success stories out here. Everybody think just because you got a checkered past that you just that way forever. It's a lot of people that have been to prison and have been convicted that are doing very well in life, and I'm very happy to know some of these people. So we're gonna break down specific pathways. If you put it in the comments and it's something we can help you with, we're gonna try to break down like just a, a specific way to help you get to where you need to be. And we just gonna continue to share lessons learned and things like that, man. And I am gonna try to put together a PDF like checklist. But until that comes out, man, just revert back to this video or video similar to it for information. But I am gonna put together a PDF checklist that you can download, and we're gonna rock like that. And all in all, man, I'm really just putting this video together to let you know that you are not alone, man. You're not in this situation by yourself. There are plenty of people that are going through this. There are plenty of people that have gone through this, and we all need to stick together, man. And it's very important because the world is getting spooky, man. And if you living right and you got a family to protect or even yourself to protect, loved ones to protect, it's your right, man, to be able to do that because you'll be able to help yourself before the police can arrive and things like that. And I'm a firm believer in that. So we're gonna stick together, man. Like I said, drop your wins or losses. Uh, your setbacks, anything. If you're in the middle of this process, drop it down in the comments and let's talk about it. Let's get a conversation going. And if you see a comment in the comment section, man, and it's something you've been through and it's something you can help with, make sure you reach out to that person and look out for them because we all in this together. Like I said, this channel is about growth and redemption, responsibility, man. All right, now let's get into the steps, the 10 steps that I think everybody that's looking to get this process going should get into. So we're starting with step number one: confirm you are actually convicted of a felony. A lot of people assume they're felons and they may not be. Check if your case was a true felony conviction, a dismissed case, a deferred adjudication, reduced to a misdemeanor, or expunged or sealed. How you can check, for example, I'll use Tennessee Courts Record website, but you want to go to your state court records website or the courthouse where your case was handled at. For example, in Tennessee, that would be the Tennessee Administration Office for the Courts of Public Court Search. You want official documentation for the final disposition. Number two, you want your full criminal history. Before you can restore anything, you need your entire record. So you can request the state criminal history, court disposition paperwork, any probation completion paperwork. Like I said, in Tennessee, this goes through the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. My cases weren't here in Tennessee, but I'm just using this as an example because it's the state that I live in. This step is important because old charges sometimes appear incorrectly in background systems. So you want to get your full history. I'm talking about everything. You've been cuffed up, you've been locked up. I don't care how petty or minor you think it was, make sure you have everything because one missing piece of information can stop the whole ball from rolling. Number three, you want to make sure that all sentences are fully completed. Most states will not even consider restoring rights until every part of the sentence is finished. This includes the jail and prison time, your probation and parole, fines, court costs, and restitution. If any of these are unpaid, the process usually stops right there. Step 4. Determine if your offense is eligible. Not every felony qualifies for firearms rights restoration. Many states permanently restrict rights for crimes involving violence, domestic violence, certain drug trafficking crimes, and weapons offenses. Look up your state law regarding firearm restriction. Step 5, and this one is important. Research your state's restoration process. Each state has its own processes. Common methods include petitions to restore firearm rights, expungement, set aside convictions, certificate of rehabilitation, and a governor's pardon. It's a very important step. Like I said, these things vary state by state, so you want to search specifically the state that you reside in and figure out what needs to be done when it comes to restoring your firearms rights. Step 6, you want to check the waiting period requirements. Most states require a waiting period after completing your sentence. The common ranges, some are 5 years, some are 10 years, some are 7 years, sometimes longer than 10 years. The clock usually starts after your probation or parole is complete, not the conviction date. Step 7, gather documents that support your petition. When courts or boards review your case, they look at who you are today. Helpful documents include proof of employment, letters of recommendation, community involvement, certificates for education, and proof of rehabilitation. The goal is to show that you're a responsible human being, you're a law abiding citizen, and you're no longer a risk. Step 8, file the petition. Depending on your state, you may file with the original sentence in court, the state probation board, the state pardon board, or the governor's clemency office. Most courts provide petition forms online. Follow the instructions exactly. Again, missing paperwork is one of the biggest reasons petitions get rejected. So make sure you're doing this by the book. Cross your T's, dot your I's, and lowercase j's at that. Step 9, prepare for a hearing if required. Now, they had scheduled a hearing for me, but man, and I had went and got my suit pressed up. I was getting ready to drive up to Indianapolis and go to the court and just lay it all on the line for the judge, man. But luckily for me, my stuff got approved before the hearing date, and I didn't have to do that. But they may ask, what have you been doing since your conviction? Why do you want or need your firearm rights restored? How have you changed your life? Man, be ready to answer those questions. I know I was. Like I said, I was getting ready to go in there and lay it all on the line. Like, man, Judge, I ain't been in no trouble. I done started a business. I'm donating to charities. I'm a well-known figure in my community. I provide a service for over 2,800 homes in my community. I had it all laid out. I was going in. If I went to that hearing, I was definitely going in. Uh, but this is where your honesty and accountability matters, man. So prepare for that hearing if that's part of your process. And step 10, man, the last and final step in this, verify your status before attempting to buy a firearm. Even after approval, confirm your eligibility. You can request a background check reviewed through the Federal Bureau of Investigation's NICS appeal process if needed. I didn't know this fact, but I wish I did. It would have saved me a lot of time. Or I probably would have even been able to purchase my firearm sooner or receive my firearm sooner than I did. But never assume you're cleared until you have full documentation that confirms it. All right, y'all. So those are the 10 steps. And man, I know it's been a lot, but like I said, this topic is very important to me, and I want us all to win, man. And I want us all to be proper citizens and be able to exercise our rights to the fullest, man. So again, man, if you cannot afford an attorney, here are some people that may be able to help you out. Look at legal aid organizations, look at law school legal clinics, look at public defender consultation, state bar referral services, and nonprofit reentry programs. That's if you cannot afford an attorney and you want to do this on your own. Make sure you do your research and look into these places. But if you're watching this, man, and you made mistakes in the past, that doesn't mean your future is written, man. I'm telling you, it doesn't. Do your homework, follow the process, and stay patient, man. Just stay patient. Rights restoration is possible, but it takes effort and responsibility. And now make sure, if you're looking to get back on the right path, man, that you stay on the right path. If you're out here, you're still living foul, man, maybe this video ain't for you. Make sure you save this and you come back to it later when you are ready. But if you're really ready to take that next step and become the proper citizen that you know you are, man, holla at your boy. This took me a while to put together. It's gonna probably take me even longer to edit. It took me a while to research it, but I feel like I'd be doing everybody a disservice if I didn't put this out there. So make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. Like I said, man, I want to hear them success. I want to hear them success stories. My email is in the description. Email me if you got any questions. If your question is a little bit too long to put in the comment section, if you got questions or you got success stories or you want to share a video with me, send me a video in the email. And when we continue the next version of this from felons to firearms owners, portion of the channel, I want to be able to share success stories. So send me a short video, man, of what you've been through, what state you're in, your name and things like that, how long you went without your rights, and how long it's been since you got them back. Come on, man, and I add them to the channel every now and then. And you know we're gonna rock out like that because there's people out there, there's somebody watching this right now that need to hear that information. They need to see that success story. They need to see that that ain't the end of the road for them, man. So let's do this together, man. Let's do this as a community because, man, we all we got. Everybody done counted us out. Everybody done made us seem like we weren't worth a damn. But here we are, man, living life, being successful, getting our rights back, being law-abiding citizens. Send me a clip, man, and I'm going to put it on the channel for y'all. It's your boy, Himbo, Art of Illery. Remember, God didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all for rocking with the boy. Stay tuned, because there'll be way more coming on subjects like this. We out.